Welcome everyone to the Voice of Veloce podcast for episode number 2, and we have got on today the official FNG. Hello, the official FNG. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are we all at the moment? How are we coping with lockdown and stuff?
We're holding up okay. I've got a mannequin and my hair's blue. So
yeah, so you're doing fine. You're really you've definitely not had a breakdown whatsoever.
I'm sound.
The walls.
I'm looking forward to Hayden shaving his hair potentially. That's something we could discuss straight off the bat.
That's gonna be
bald Hayden. My ears are gonna look massive. Like
you do have.
I know it's my suggestion because I don't know whether I want to get rid of the blue, but these ears are gonna look huge.
Have you considered going more blue before shaving it off or not?
Well, I've still got another 2 boxes of the blue, so I could potentially do that, like put it back on top and see how that works.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or do the camo print. You could do the camo print, just like print some of it in. Or like blue tiger. No, not tiger print. They're stripes.
No, that's a good shout. To be fair, like you just get like little patches,
splodges,
like, basically cut out holes of like a sheet of paper, put it on your head, and just.
That would be cool.
That'd actually be lit.
I don't think it would be cool. Could you imagine me with leopard hair?
With leopard blue hair.
Now's the time to try it. There's no better
you're not
time.
going to get a better time than this to experiment, Hayden. So I think this could be the time. Really.
I suppose it could be. I mean, I am on stream every day, so people are going to see it there. And talking of stream, I hear that a certain someone is going to be getting into it.
I am indeed. Yes, I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm not going to lie. Football Manager is coming. I have been dedicating hours to Stevenage Town. Hayden's heard all about this, and he doesn't care. But I just tell him anyway about my Stevenage Town adventures. And
okay.
Basically, all you need to know is I'm the best manager in the world. I'm the best football manager that's ever existed. So I'm going to start streaming it now on Twitch.
How long does a football manager's entire career take? So you can take them all the way from the lowest league to the Champions League, can't you?
Yeah, you can do what you like. Yeah, you can literally take a team from like pretty much Sunday League football, like amateur football, all the way to like Champions League. Like 11th tier of English football or whatever you want to do.
Isn't there like an infinite amount of seasons?
Yeah, no, it never ends. It never ends. Because I've seen people do like YouTube videos of like sims of like 1,000 years on Football Manager to see what happens in so what football would look like in 1,000 years from now.
Yeah.
Liverpool still probably wouldn't have won a league.
They got close, and then
Corona arrived on the scene. But no.
Who would have known Corona was a Man United fan? Eh? Who would have known?
No, it's disgusting, isn't it? It's absolutely vile. But yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna start streaming.
Have you streamed before? Have you
No, never.
No.
I have never streamed before in my life, so I'm gonna need to get Arif to teach me how to do it.
It's the easiest thing ever. Honestly, I could do it as long as you know how to
Hayden
do
can do
the
it. Then we're good. We're really.
As long as you can do the mechanics of it, then you're fine.
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
You chat shit for a living, all right? You're the king of chatting shit.
To be fair,
you're gonna blast through it. You'll be fine.
I'll be just sat there for like 4 hours and I won't have done anything. I won't have even done any Football Manager. I just chatted shit the whole time.
You're there just trying to get off the starting screen, just like, right, which button do I press? How do I get this?
guys, I just can't pick what team I'm going to use. Like, I don't know. I still don't actually know.
Are you going to do Twitch or YouTube? What are you thinking? Because obviously you've got a huge. Okay, fair. Right.
I get what you mean. Yeah, because like YouTube, obviously, like there's the sort of backing there already.
Yeah.
But I just hate how like restricted YouTube is for streaming.
Fair.
Like Twitch, you can just kind of you can't do what you like. Obviously, there's rules and regs and stuff. You can play copyright music in the background. It can be a lot more chill. There's not like pressure for it to be intense all the time. So
I think it's a better community for live streaming personally. I've had experience with both, and Twitch just it's so much more integrated, and people just seem a little bit more lax. And even like the interface of YouTube makes it less interactive somehow. I don't know how they've managed to do that, but Twitch is just so much better.
No, I'm definitely going to go for Twitch. If I watch a stream, unless it's someone who only streams on YouTube, I tend to watch it on Twitch rather than watching YouTube streaming personally. So that's kind of the reason for that.
I'm looking forward to the emotes that we have on your Twitch.
I don't even know what emotes I'm going to use. There's going to be box ones and probably...
Oh, God, yeah.
Like different cardboard... You can have different coloured cardboard boxes depending on what like sub-tier you're in.
That's good. I like that. I still need to think of that. Like, I've started mine already, and I haven't thought of any sort of emotes or stuff for sub tiers or stuff like that.
We've got Blue Head Hayden now, I swear.
Yeah.
That's on the Veloce one, yeah.
That's the Veloce one, yeah.
Maybe I'll nick all the Veloce mates.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
if you're one of, they've nicked you, technically speaking.
Yeah, I
So
should
you
copyright
can just
that.
nick them back. It's calm. Like,
They use my face without me allowing it.
Yeah. Can you imagine your face was just copyrighted? That's it. You can't use it on Veloce ever. Sorry, Mickey.
I'll be still.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, sorry, Mickey.
He doesn't mind.
I don't
He's
care.
fine. He's absolutely okay with that.
Mickey's actually like, thank God I can finally post something that isn't just Hayden's face.
There was a lot of hating on the Veloce channel. I think it works. It's like he's almost become like the mascot in a way. It's like, especially with the blue hair. It's like just add layers of like costume to you.
Hayden was hoping you'd say something like the main man, the presenter.
Now I'm the mascot. I'm there
You are,
walking
to be
out
fair.
I'm walking out of the building holding Daniel Beresne's hand as we walk out.
Out the tunnel with your camouflage hair.
I was thinking
Yeah,
more
yeah.
along the lines of like a mascot that's like a decorative mascot as opposed to a little kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Hayden just fancies holding Danny Beresne's hand. That's really. He probably would look like a
I mean-
kid stood next to Danny, to be fair. So.
Yeah, Danny's the only one who makes me look like a kid.
I don't really-
You were the only person in the team I think that was taller than me until
Until
Until I
Danny
met
Beresne
Danny.
arrived at 7'8".
Yeah.
Jesus, I didn't know he was that big. Well, obviously he's
Okay,
not.
he's
that
not.
big.
He's not that
How
tall.
big is
He's
he
like-
actually?
He's,
He's 6'6", I think.
Fair.
no, he's more than that. I think he's like 6'8".
No, he's 6.
Yeah, because I saw one of the things he said. The reason that he thought he could never be an F1 driver is because he was too tall.
Yeah, his head would be poking above where the camera is. You wouldn't be able to see anything. It would be
It would just be the
behind
back of
the
his
helmet. We need to actually maybe get him in an F1 car or an F1 style car or something like that. And
One
sort of
day.
just have a camera and see what it is actually like. Because I reckon it would be something similar like that. It would just be right behind his head.
Well, if you think about it, a lot of the F1 drivers are what, like 5'9", max, like 5'10". 6'6".
I think the highest was Hulkenberg, and that was like 6'2".
Mate.
If that.
Fam, he would actually obstruct a division with his own. That's so peak. Poor guy.
We go on board with Daniel Beresne, and we can't see anything.
Back to the off-boards.
So what we're going to talk about today then? We've got any structured topics? We haven't really kind of put it down. I suppose we could kind of recap what we talked about last time and go from there.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I'm not gonna lie, I've forgotten all the stuff that we talked about before, so it's probably okay.
You forget to reply after checking a message after like 2 seconds. So
Yeah, no, the Snapchat's a myth
I don't
for me.
think
You
you have to
know,
worry.
if anyone sends me a Snapchat, half of like my reply is just like, "What did you say in the last?"
I'm not on about Snapchat. I'm on about WhatsApp, Twitter messages, normal text messages. Nothing gets through to the man. Callum told me that you use Facebook Messenger the most, and that blew my mind.
Yeah,
'cause
I
that's
use
like,
Facebook Messenger.
What? Who
mean,
uses
what?
Facebook Messenger these days? Like,
Everybody,
honestly.
it's
No,
the place
no.
to be. It's
That's
what
the
all
only
the cool
thing I
kids
don't use.
Nah, Hayden, you're not cool enough. I'm sorry. Listen, I didn't.
I mean,
wanna-
I've got
I didn't want
blue
you to
hair,
know.
so that's not really news, is
true.
it?
You'd have been on brand if you were using Facebook as well, because you got blue hair.
Maybe.
But
But Twitter's blue.
Twitter's blue. Do you use Twitter the most for DMing people? Or
Probably
WhatsApp?
WhatsApp.
Yeah.
If I got their number, WhatsApp. If not, Twitter.
Fair
I stick with text. Boomer as fuck.
Well,
You are boomer as hell. I
Well, then-
I only text my mum. My mum is the only person who like actually physically texts me.
yeah,
Is that sad?
I was
Is
gonna
that sad?
say,
That's actually also quite sad. But
I was gonna say you're never ever gonna get in touch with Niran then if you just use text. My mum, so your mum only messages you on text. My mum messages me on Snapchat, which is really weird.
your mum has Snapchat.
Yeah, the only way that she can get through to me is by using Snapchat.
Snapchat's the worst form of communication, I think. Because even if you're having a conversation with someone, you think, oh, I'll reply to it later. It's gone. You have no idea what they've even said.
This is what I'm saying. Snapchat,
Yeah.
because by the time you've processed what you're gonna say, you've already forgotten what the original message said. There's no point. Like, oh man.
Well, it's perfect for me because when I was back at home, she ever asked me to do chores. She's written it in Snapchat. It's gonna be like, well, I never saw it. It disappeared, so didn't have to do them.
Yeah, sorry about that. Like 2 weeks.
She'd be like,
later.
no, I saw your little man pop up. You were definitely reading it.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah,
That's
exactly,
the
yeah,
thing.
true.
She also stalks me on Snap Maps as well, so she sees where I am. Like, I will always get a message for her when I'm at an airport because the Snap Maps, it's always in like a pretty old plane, isn't it, that your person gets in?
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, I hope that plane's safe enough to get you there. I'm like, Mum, stop.
This is
all
not the
right?
actual
You
plane.
gotta stop.
Okay, we've been over this before. All right, it's not
Just
a
be like-
cartoon plane.
Ghost mode.
Yeah, ghost
away.
mode. I'm always ghost mode.
And then I'll just get messages saying, "Are you dead?" I'm like, no,
You just can't
because
win.
my bit emoji's not there.
See, this is why you just need to just. I'm sorry to Hayden's mum. You've just got to unadd your mum on Snapchat. I don't know whether that's an ethical thing to do in this day and age, but it can't run. It can't run.
Goodbye.
My mum
Goodbye,
doesn't even
mother.
know. I don't think she even knows Snapchat exists. Like, let
No,
alone knows.
you're the lucky one.
I am. No, to be fair, I am. Oh man.
So how have you been? How have you been coping? You know, you live with Arav already, but
Yes.
you know you used to be able to go outside, get that free space from him. Now you're stuck with him
Yeah, it's
for an
terrible.
indefinite amount of time.
I'm on the way towards punching him. I'm not gonna lie. Like, no. To be honest,
I want to see that boxing
can you
match. You
imagine?
beat Arav.
Oh, mate,
Arav.
I think the thing is, yeah, he'd have a bit more power, but I have the reach.
Honestly, you could just hold him back with one arm. Like literally, put one arm on his head
Yeah,
and he'd
yeah,
just be swinging.
It's just
He
swinging
won't be able to
around.
reach.
Nah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think I'd win personally. Nah, to be honest, we're both like proper chill people, as you know. Like I don't really care about anything, so I'm just like very relaxed. So it is obviously it's changed a lot because I can't go out. But in terms of like seeing we don't see each other all the time. We're usually just busy doing our own thing anyway. So yeah, we don't really get in each other's way or like annoy each other that much. I won't lie.
Is that still the case now? Because I know last time we spoke, you said the same, but obviously we've been in lockdown for like what 5 weeks or something now. Is you guys still kind of on different agendas, different timetables and stuff?
You know what it is? You know what it is, Mickey. So basically, right. I won't lie to you. The 5 weeks, it's all one day, fam. I think that's part of the. So like for me personally, my sleep schedule is not completely different to his, but a bit different to his now. Like I'm getting out of bed religiously at like 12 in the afternoon and going to bed at like 4 in the morning. So there's still a decent crossover, but I don't know. I think in terms of our schedules, it's not too bad. Like we meet a bit in the middle, but we don't have to see each other all the time. In terms of going out, I do miss going out, like going and doing things. Not just going out, but I mean as in like just going and leaving the house and like I even lads, I miss the tube. I miss the London Underground. I miss the scent. I miss the woman who used to say, "This you arriving" or whatever, or what do they even say? I've even forgotten what they say. I've forgotten what they even say. What is it? The next station is I can't even remember what they say, fam.
You got mind the gap as well.
Mind
but
the
there is
gap.
never a gap. There's never a gap.
There's never a gap.
I want to know a person who's fallen down that gap at like Victoria Station or Oxford Circus.
I reckon
like,
I probably could. I could fit down.
To be fair, you're very skinny. You could probably fit down there.
I'm basically 2-dimensional, so I recken I could fit down there.
You're Mike TV from Willy Wonka after he had to be pulled and stretched to go back to normal size.
That was just me at birth instead. Oh man.
But I suppose for you and Arav, it was like you only really met each other in the flat when the football was on.
Yeah.
Or Love Island was on,
Yeah.
and neither of those are on at the moment. So
And the new Love Island's been cancelled as well.
Exactly,
So we can't even. That's not even going to happen in the summer.
So you're not even going to see him until about September time.
No, exactly. Oh, it's calm. I don't mind that. I just can't cope with it any longer, lads. I think when do we reckon we'll actually be able to go and do things like the odd thing every now and again?
Well, I've just
Another
booked a
3
holiday,
weeks, month.
so I'm hoping November. Which will be-
I think it should be November.
November, yeah. Fine. Oh, summer's gone.
I think it's on the decline now, so I don't think it's going to be that long. I think they're starting to kind of the death rate's massively plummeted. Not to get morbid, but it used to be like 900 solid every day. Now it's about 200-300, so it has took a massive dip.
It's come down.
And I think it's just going to be a case of like it's still going to be weird. You're just going to have to go out and stay really far apart from people. Everyone's going to have masks on. There's going to be perspex glass everywhere. I think it will go back to some form of normal, but it'll never go back to how it was previously for fucking ages.
Yeah.
Never going to be shaking another man's hand again. It's a sad life now. Like, what are we going to do?
What a sad little life, Jane.
Just air high fives. Yeah.
It's be the elbow, isn't it?
The elbow.
The elbow.
Bam.
But germs can still cross through your elbow.
True. Just don't rub your face with it.
I can't lick my elbow. So
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, so it doesn't
That's
count.
the theory.
So I'm fine.
If you can't lick it, you can't get a germ from it. That sounds mental. I'm here all week, lads. That's probably one of the worst things I've ever said.
That is bad.
That is awful.
That is bad.
Oh man. Oh wow. See, lockdown sent me insane. This is what we're dealing with now. This is what poor Arrow has to live with.
Well, we've got the best clip from the podcast already, at least. So that's all we need from you.
There's your socials done, bro. That's it. Okay, cool. Well, I'll see you guys next week. Yeah, and we'll do that again.
Man, I've missed you, bro. I've missed you.
Oh man.
If you can't lick it,
If you
can't
can't
catch
lick it,
anything
you
from
can't
it.
catch anything from it. Those are words to live by.
Mate,
Slap
that
that
needs to
on
go
your
on a
grave.
badge. That needs to go on a badge, mate.
make a t-shirt.
There's your first Twitch emote.
It's a bit long. It's a bit long, to be honest.
Make it into two. Make it into two.
Oh, that could work, you know. I think that's a
First
brand
one
up to
is you
start.
can't lick it.
Merch. Next
Second one,
merch
can't
drop.
catch it.
100%.
That's a
There's
brand.
definitely something
That is-
there.
That is wow. I'm proud of myself. All right, cheers, lads. We've got some merch ideas now.
There you go. Niran
Great
giving
stuff.
advice on all sectors of healthcare.
Get me in the government, boys.
Next
your
up to the
Sufu.
stand,
New
the
health
official
secretary.
FMG. I believe you can't lick it, you can't catch anything from it. That's about it.
Oh man, what is this?
So I suppose-
I knew.
Go on,
I
Hayden.
knew this was going to be like this. You just got Niran and us not just chatting rubbish. Like we
Yeah.
are just the kings of chatting
I've
rubbish.
just brought you down with me, lads. I'm sorry. This is just the usual for me.
We had nothing
Were we
planned
ever up
anyway,
there?
so...
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Go on, Mickey. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was just gonna. Obviously, we've just spoke about your releasing merch. I kind of thought we discussed a lot of it on the last podcast, but a lot of people listening are probably gonna want to hear like a little bit of your backstory. I know we've done a full Veloce video on you previously, but it's not the same as just the three of us just chatting about it. What was your first YouTube name, by the way? I've caught one clip of it. Was it like the all flying orangutan or something?
Yeah.
What?
So basically, my YouTube name used to be Flying Orangutan.
There we go. That was it.
Which has, I mean, there's a bit of flow to it. It's just too long, and like nobody will know how to spell it. Do you know what I mean? It has like no SEO value whatsoever. So like, but that was it before. Basically, like my nickname at school was at one point for a very brief period. Like it wasn't a long nickname, but it was like Nirangatang because like Niran, orangutan, whatever, cool. It just merged into one word. And then originally my channel used to be like where it was gonna be a combo channel with me and my best friend at the time, and he was Scottish, so some people used to call him the Flying Scotsman or something. I can't remember. I can't remember there was actually a story behind that as well, but I can't remember what it was. So then we just merged the thing together. But then his PC broke, so it just became my channel.
R.I.P.
Which is so peak.
Quite literally.
Yeah, I know. R.I.P. Josh.
Does he still do it or not?
Does he still do it?
Yeah.
No, he never went into it in the end.
Fair.
Like I don't know. I think I don't know whether he was as interested in it as I was. Like,
Yeah.
he was very interested in it, but I don't know whether if he'd got his PC sorted like a year down the line, he would have just carried on himself. I don't think he really
Takes a lot, I suppose, to start it, really, doesn't it? You
Yeah.
can't, the story of how you got handed the equipment kind of sort of put you on the path of like, well, I've got it now, I might as well start.
That was the thing,
But
yeah. It was
Starting is always the hardest part.
I think especially at the age that you kind of have to start at, or like, because you've probably got to, if you're going to be good at it by the time you're like 20, you've got to start when you're young. It takes us a lot of time that you've got to actually progress. My videos were wank.
Underwater.
Underwater for the first 2 years because my microphone was terrible. But just generally pretty bad until like 2017, probably 2018. So you've got to put a lot of graft and time into actually becoming good. And like, you don't necessarily have the impetus to go and buy something that's gonna get you to start YouTube videos unless you're really interested in it at such a young age. So I was pretty lucky to just get basically given it in the playground for like 40 quid, I think it was.
So who actually gave you it?
Commented.
It was just another guy from my year. He was called Jed.
Okay.
The thing is, I think he was more friendly with Josh, to be fair. I think that's the reason why. But I was good friends with him, but he wasn't like my best mate. I think he was just looking for someone to just sell this thing to. And I liked KSI and stuff, and I was just like, oh, that would be quite cool to record things, make clips or whatever.
Had you not like previously considered it at all?
I had, yeah. I thought, because I used to watch quite a bit of FIFA stuff, and like, especially career mode guys from like way back in the day. Like MGH was still making videos then, but under a different name. I used to watch him a lot, and KSI. and like the old school FIFA people. So I'd thought about it, but then again, always been like, I wouldn't even know where to begin, like with editing and equipment and a camera and a microphone. Like I had no idea even what went into making a YouTube video. So that was just the start, I guess. That was when that guy offered it to me.
Awesome. I swear I saw him pop up in the comment section of that video about you that we did on the Veloce channel. I'm pretty sure. I'm just scrolling through, so I'm just gonna keep on looking.
That would be so good. I'm
pretty sure he like popped up. It's just like, yeah, I gave him that.
That's mad.
If he did,
there's so many comments in there.
If he did, then that would be absolutely incredible. I need to. I might message him. Actually, I probably should message him and just be like, "Yo."
Saying thank you for everything.
Yeah, literally.
How are you doing?
What would you like? What would you like me to buy you? Like, I don't know.
So you started with FIFA content straight off the bat, and you've stuck with it all the way through, or at any point did it deviate or anything like that?
Yeah, so it deviated a little bit. Like when I first started, I did FIFA stuff straight off the bat, so a bit of career mode, which was terrible, and then. What else was there? There was some racing games as well. I think they just released a new Grid game. Codemasters had just released Grid 2. So I did some like online races on that. Yes. I used to watch Into the Barrier a lot, like all the time, back in the day.
Is that like a YouTube series? Is it?
So Into the Barrier is a guy called Scott. He's he's an F1 YouTuber from time ago. Like he was the originator.
Right.
Like F1, like Arav and Ben came after that doing career mode, but he kind of started the whole online stuff.
He still does it now. He just does like one-off sort of jokey videos. Like they're never serious. It's never career mode or anything like that.
He's always just pissed about.
Yeah, it's taking the piss out of any sort of glitches or bugs with the game, or just anything that he can think of that's just like take the piss out of real life sport that he can put into a video. And he comes about, like, he disappears for a good 2 to 3 months, and then he comes back and his videos just bang. They're good fun.
Yeah, he just chills. He just like, and it's calm. Like you can do that because he just like he probably started the whole thing really with like not started, but he was one of the first people F1 wise. So like he can just come in and out as he pleases, and everyone's fine with it. But yeah, so I used to watch him a lot. So I used to I didn't used to copy his style or anything, but those sort of like just taking the piss out of a race that was playing online videos were there. And then at some point I did do like let's plays of like little random indie games and stuff, and then I was like, nah, I just prefer FIFA and F1. So then for like a couple of years it was then FIFA and F1 career mode, and then I split my channels to do FIFA and F1, and the F1 channel kind of died because I didn't have the time to do 2 channels.
Yeah.
And
so if you're like giving advice to someone who's listening, who's like considering like starting their own channel and things like that, would you say, like, given the current climate, 2020, is it still best to stick with one niche that you're like super comfortable with and super good at and just drive that home, or should you kind of pollinate across all sorts of different games to then figure out what sticks? What do you think?
To be honest, in terms of when you're starting, I think it's always a good idea to like have a bit of a range of things that you that you can do, because I think it improves like your just adaptability, because you can make different types of content just straight off the bat. If you do some like, just taking my example, the FIFA videos I made were a bit different to the F1 videos that I made. So like immediately that's 2 different types of videos that you can work on.
It's like
and
a
also
curve.
it just gives you a chance to like work out what you really enjoy, rather than starting off with one thing, saying that's the one thing I definitely want to do, and then getting 2 years down the line and realizing actually you don't like it at all. You can kind of decide a bit earlier on if you do. I keep hitting my mic. Bam. You can kind of decide a bit earlier on like which thing you favor, or which things. It could always be multiple things. You don't have to have one niche. But
no, that makes sense. And then I suppose like something that you definitely are well rehearsed with is just the grind. Really, it's like you have to just put in the work, because whenever I like hear of you guys and the amount of work you guys are putting in, it's always like exponentially more than people assume. Like you say, oh, YouTuber, like they're just, like you say, they've got weird sleep patterns, so automatically they're doing less work. No, they're just working at different hours, but truly are grafting. Oh,
I think you've hit your mic a bit too hard that I can't hear you anymore.
It's like a mime act now.
Yeah, there's still nothing. Your mic is
there we go. Oh shit! I thought I got it the first when I hit it again. I was like, oh, it's calm. It came back because Oh man, wait, what was the question? Sorry, I forgot.
Just I suppose it was just leading into the amount of work that it actually takes to kind of grow a channel to that point.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. The thing is, people don't realize is like, and I'm not gonna be like, oh, feel bad for me. YouTube is a shit job. It's quite a cool thing to be able to do, but it is long. Like you can do it. You have like when you have like a 9-to-5 job, you do it 8 hours with a lunch break in the middle. And that's it, and you can go home and you switch off completely most of the time. Whereas with YouTube, like my setup is in my room, so I wake up and I automatically, the first thing I see is my work, and then all the way through the day, I could still be working on it. Like I could just work from 12 till 2 a.m. and that's like a 14-hour day.
Yeah.
Of like editing or recording or sorting stuff out for the channel or whatever. So it can actually, it's usually longer hours than a normal job.
And then, of course, you can never let go with social media nowadays because you naturally do all your own marketing for your stuff via social media. So you have to be on there all the time. And nowadays, you're never away from your phone. So it's almost like you're never away from work, really.
Yeah. To be honest, yeah. Like, it's... Because like Insta and Twitter is part of it as well. Like, you've got to plug your stuff all the time. Like, if now I want to start streaming, that's another added part. Whereas I would usually play Football Manager just to enjoy myself. I'm now like, okay, cool, I'm actually talking to people, and yeah, it's you never really, you do never really get a chance to get away from it properly. But it's one of them things.
Plus, when you do switch off, like you try and switch off, and then in your head it just starts running. It's like ideas.
Fully.
You're just like, leave me alone. It's like 2 a.m. and you're just typing in your notes on your phone. No, like, oh, this is an idea.
No, legit, genuinely, like you know it as well. Like when I try to go to bed, sometimes I'm like, oh. I've genuinely been half asleep and an idea has come into my head and I'm like, oh, fuck's sake. So I've got to roll out of bed, get my phone, type it out. I was just about to go to sleep. I didn't want to start coming up with ideas. But yeah, some of the best ideas do come when you're just not doing anything. I think it's nice when you can just go like on holiday or go away and do something. You don't even have to think about the stats or checking how your video is done or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because that also adds to it as well. The stress of kind of like, oh, has my video banged today? Or like just constantly checking how many views it's got or... Yeah. No, I can imagine. So I suppose leading on from that then, Hayden, you're in a very similar boat and you're starting to branch out now from the Veloce Twitch into your own stuff. So at what point did you start getting into all of this? Because we didn't discuss that on the last podcast really with Callum.
Well, I first started YouTube, I think, back in 2015, summer of 2015. I've been watching people like Arav and Ben on the F1 side. I'd watched other people on the other side, like bigger YouTubers, like I suppose Syndicate and stuff like that. And I looked at it upon like something I definitely wanted to do. I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'd love to be able to do this. And I was playing F1. I was like, I'm doing some pretty sick races. I want to show this to people. Like, that's, I think, how most people sort of start out with YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, for Nero, it's probably just like you're having some cool career mode games. You scored some pretty cool goals.
Yeah,
and you're just like, I want to show people this. I want to showcase it. Instead of just being like shouting to my brother, like, oh, come watch this. And then he's at uni, so I have to sort of film it on my phone and send it to him or something like that. And he doesn't even give a crap. He doesn't care at all.
No.
So yeah, that's sort of how I...
Just like, can you leave me alone? I'm trying to do an exam.
Yeah, that's such a good way of putting it, though. I've never actually heard anyone display it in that way, but that makes so much sense. Like, it's just a case of you've done something that you thought was really cool, and it's like, does anyone else think this is cool, essentially, when you put it out on YouTube? And yeah, people say yes, so they subscribe and come back for more of that cool stuff. Yeah, I like that analogy, actually. That's cool.
Yeah, no one found it cool for a year because it took a year. I got to like 100. To be fair, I think for most people when you start, a year to 100 is probably quite normal. I think. I've had people complain to me on Twitch recently, just like, oh yeah, I've got like 600 subs. I started a couple of months ago. I'm like, that's good. Fucking run with that. That's good, mate. Keep
especially
going.
in this climate, like it's so saturated everywhere now.
Yeah,
exactly.
To have that so quickly is actually impressive.
Then I got a big break, sort of like a year after I started my channel. I was doing F1 2016 career modes. I was putting a lot of time and effort into like the graphics and editing into it. And I thought these are quite cool, but it's annoying that they're not getting showed. And I emailed Callum and I emailed Arav because I watched Arav's videos. So I emailed both of those, and I was just basically wanted to see if they wanted to do a collab.
Yeah.
And I'm quite good at pitching emails. I pitched it in the way that it was just like, yeah, you know, I've been watching you guys for ages. And then I put some quite funny stuff in there as well to sort of catch the eye. And in the end, Arav, I think, didn't really look at it, but Cal saw it, and then Cal was actually playing, I think, a game with Arav at that point. It was just like, have you seen this guy's channel? He's actually pretty good. Disclaimer, I'm really sorry, Callum. I hadn't actually watched any of Callum's videos. I'd watched Arav.
This is shocking. This is missile PPI.
Callum helped me out big time because then I boosted up in like a month. It took me a year to get from 1 to 100, and then it took me a month to go from 100 to 1,000, which was massive.
Yeah,
I think that's massive for anyone. Like even, for us some days for Veloce, we're on 50,000. If we get 1,000 in a month, that's like that. Before we had the big burst, that was a good month for us.
Yeah, that's significant.
So that was sort of how I got my big break. But then I was just churning out the same sort of content with career mode. I was growing at just a normal rate. There was never sort of a big boost. But at that point as well, I was paying for like my car and I was paying for rent and stuff like that. And I was working at Tesco at the same time, a part-time job, which pretty much the amount of overtime I was doing was becoming a full-time job because I still wanted to go on holidays and stuff like that and go to races because I just met like Niran and Arav and Cal. And then in the end, for me, it was like the work got too much for me that I had to take a break from it. So that's why I've had such a big break. And I'm slowly starting to come back into it now.
Yeah.
But like when you have a big break from something, and I don't know how hard it was you, Niran, when you had a smaller break, when you came back to it, you've got to then think of ideas that are going to kick off straight away because otherwise it's just starting, you might as well just start a new channel if it doesn't work.
And there's the element of like, up until the point where you took your break, you've accumulated all of your views and you're always at like that peak because it's just a game of consistency a lot of the time if your quality's there. And then if you do take a break, no matter what, you're never going to have the same amount of numbers as you did just before that break. But that, I think you automatically have that expectation. And if you don't hit it, it can be so disheartening to actually break back through that and get back to the grind. So how long were the breaks for both of you guys?
Well, I think yours was like a month.
Mine was a month. Mine was pretty much. It ended up being about 5 weeks. I think it was pretty much all of January and then a bit of Feb.
Okay.
I think my longest one, or at least the first one before I came back, was a good maybe two months or something like that.
Yeah.
It got to a stage because what I was doing was I was doing a 9 till 5. I would spend, because F1 career mode takes so long to record. Like just to record a race itself, that's 3 hours just to do the race. Just to record.
Of course.
So that's not even editing and then post commentary. It takes 3 hours
replays
just to do the race.
as well. So you got your practice quali, race, replays, edit.
So
post.
I was doing a 9 till 6, and I go to bed. So I get home from at 6, straight on YouTube, editing whatever I needed to do till what could be sometimes like 1 o'clock in the morning, sometimes even 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Then wake up 8:45. It'd take me 15 minutes to drive to work. So I'd literally wake up, brush my teeth, go, because I'd shower the night before, and then I'd actually take my full break. So I get an hour and a half when I was at Tesco, and I'd take that full break in one go. So that would leave me an hour at home, and I just do my post commentary for the video then. And about 3 weeks of doing that, it got to a stage where I was halfway through commentary and I just sat there halfway through and I was just like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I was so burnt out from it that I was just like, I can't do it anymore.
Fair.
And then that just sort of killed that. And then I got a lifeline with Veloce doing this, so I'm doing what I love again. So it's all good.
Did you guys both get on the Veloce radar at the same time? Do you want to tell the guys a story about that?
I think it was like a month before you. I think I brought
Hayden came before
you
me.
in.
Mm. Yeah,
I think I was like a couple of months before you. So Arab was the first one out of our group here, and then I signed up. Never actually told Arab that I was going to do it because I wanted to sort of do it off my own back. I kind of just wanted to do this myself and be like, I want to do this for me and sort of let what I'm trying to give, shine rather than piggybacking off someone else for once, because I kind of did that for the first time with my channel from those two.
With Cal,
so I just thought I want to do this myself. And managed to secure the job, and it was the same time as I think Tom joined as well, and then we were recruiting some people for the team, and Niran's channel was on the rise. I think that was just before you hit 100k, and then Niran came in, which is kind of a weird one because obviously we weren't really touching upon FIFA, but we did want to sort of expand. But I think it's because you worked so well with the people already, like you were already really good friends with Arav, myself, and Tom, that it just sort of worked quite well, that when we did get to do videos together, there was already that chemistry there.
Oh, hello, my mic again, my mic. Literally, anyway, I knew everyone so well. Like, I'd met you for Silverstone, I'd known Arav and Cal for a while. I kind of knew Tom pretty well. So, yeah, it was pretty It was calm. Like,
Yeah.
obviously- and I had an F1 background in terms of making videos, so I still kind of was interested in that anyway.
I was going to say, because when I actually started Veloce, you know, I'm still quite new, but when I did, naturally, when you're looking at a job somewhere, you go through the content. For the longest time, I actually thought you were an F1 content creator, Niran, because I saw you via the Veloce channel involved with the F1 race star stuff and actually on the squad sprint track. So yeah, it's clear that the relationship was so seamless that it just fits in. And it wasn't until after I'd started, I was like, oh, Niran's main channel is actually all FIFA based.
Yeah, it's
like
FIFA and football.
yeah.
Yeah. It's just because I'm super interested in F1 and obviously used to make videos on it, so and plus again I knew everyone, so pretty natural transition.
Yeah.
The idea behind it, I think, was if we want to do in real life stuff in the future, and Niran already having that background and being an entertaining person and having a following and getting along very easily with the group, sort of slots them in quite well, despite being from a FIFA background.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's calm.
Decent. So I suppose from a future perspective, like from a content, like once this COVID breaks down and we can actually go back out, I reckon so many people are going to be going hard on IRL content. It's going to be interesting to see kind of where it moves to. Because just before this all happened, we were just talking about kind of going like Sidemen-esque with a few of the guys and trying to do a lot of this sort of stuff. Have you guys got any plans with that, or anything you want to do in particular, or who you want to collab with when this all comes out?
I've planned a little bit, but obviously because it's that sort of, we still don't know like when. I still feel like it's more useful planning my time right now as to like the next 3 weeks, like what videos I should make then.
Yeah.
But I did have, like, when I had my break, I spent a lot of the time coming up with video ideas, and a lot of them were real life based. So obviously then it became very annoying when we couldn't go outside and do things in real life. But at least those ideas are still there. I want to do stuff like, you know, go into football, like traveling to all the football stadiums in a day, or like road trips and stuff, or just think collabs I can do with someone actually sat with me rather than having to do it over Discord. There's quite a lot of stuff that I want to do. It's just waiting, I guess, until we're allowed to go out and do stuff. Really, I don't know about you, Hayden.
Well, we've got quite a few ideas which I'm not going to reveal because I don't want them to be stolen.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I can't.
They're good ideas, but we have got some ideas of stuff we want to do as soon as we can go back outside again. Yeah. But we're just waiting on that. But I suppose you have sort of transitioned quite a bit in the last year from just being FIFA to now real life stuff, because you went from FIFA career mode, and then I think you went from that into like FIFA experiments. That was a weird way to say experiment. Experiments.
Say that again.
and now you've gone into like FTW, and you're doing all this other stuff that's not sort of too much in real life because you can't do it, but you're making the best out of the bad situation that we're in, that you could still do stuff where your face is out there a lot more. Yeah,
that was the thing. Like literally until the start of this year, my channel was just like a logo, like a terrible logo. Actually, I feel bad. Sorry to have made it. It was pretty good at the time, but it got outdated. And like, there was so long people didn't know what I looked like, and they'd go to my Insta and be like, the traditional, you don't look like what your voice, you don't match, your face doesn't match your voice, which I literally get to this day still. But yeah, like, I think, I started off with FIFA Career Mode just very, like, straight-laced, just here's a series, here's, like, tips on how to be better at FIFA Career Mode, and then I kind of got bored of that and tried to be funny and stuff. And the experiments came, and then, FTW and, like, Reddit stuff, and just trying to do more talking about actual football rather than just here's FIFA, because I'm just not as interested in gaming, I don't think, as I was before. I think that's part of the problem. Apart from Football Manager, big up Stevenage Town. But yeah, so I think that's, I suppose
because FIFA hasn't really changed much, has it?
It hasn't progressed. The game's gone backwards, so it's just not enjoyable for me to play anymore. Like at the start of this year, I did a Newcastle series, and I did like 5 episodes of it. I was already like, this is just. I'm bored.
Yeah.
I don't want to actually sit down and play the game. Not because I'm bad. It's just not interesting.
What do you think they could do? Because like, I would say the same. Like I think the last FIFA I got was FIFA 19, and I swore I wouldn't even buy that one, and I did. I played it twice, and I was like, the same every time. I feel like I was prime 2015, but they haven't changed that much. What can they do really? That's the question, because I feel like they've done everything that's possible.
I think for a start, the gameplay just has to be more interesting.
Okay.
Like, I think that the prime era of FIFA was when you could sit down I mean, you can always enjoy pro clubs, but you could sit and play Ultimate Team, and it would actually be like, there'd be an element of fun behind it. It wouldn't just be, you have to have the best players to win. I remember on FIFA 12 and 13 and 14, the best players were these sweaty, flipping 4-star skill moves, 99 pace, Emenike's, Ibarbos, S-Vines, that you didn't have to throw an arm and a leg at to be able to afford. Whereas now, you have to put like 2k, like 2 or 3 grand into Ultimate Team to have a good team and to therefore enjoy it. Otherwise, you're just gonna get slapped silly all the time. So that's part of it, and also the gameplay is so technical and tactical. It's not about just scoring nice goals. It's about who can defend the best, who can scrape a 1-0 win. It's more realistic, but it's taken away the fun.
Yeah. So
And
I suppose them moving
that,
into esports is probably why that's happened then.
Yeah, it is ultimately. Which is a shame, because esports is great and the movement is brilliant. It's been great for F1, I feel, but I think it's had a very negative effect on FIFA.
Yeah.
Esports shouldn't be realistic, though. In my opinion, esports shouldn't be realistic. You've got the real life sport. Stop trying to replicate it. Like, even for F1, esports is not as enjoyable because it's just everybody. They're in equal cars, so it's different to the real life F1. But everyone's just literally slipstream following each other, and then maybe someone might make a move at the end, and then that's it. Well done. On the race. Same with FIFA. It's like people just passing slowly. Apparently they don't even sprint. You don't even sprint up the pitch because it will harm. You'll be out of position for other people. So you just have to pass it slowly, and then you pass it into the goal. Where's the fun in watching that?
There's nothing in, like, you have the opportunity to mold this into whatever you like. To mold the sport into F1 is boring right now in real life. So make it interesting in the esports world. You don't have to replicate something that's boring because you're trying to be you're just trying to be the gaming version of that. You have the freedom to express the sport in whatever way you like.
Yeah.
So I've never understood that.
Yeah, like you say, that's a good point, because they've got the game engine, they've got the mechanics of how it works. People have got the play seats. You could have them racing through space in like starfighter jets or anything, and it's the same mechanic.
You can do whatever you like with it. Even if you do want to just make it like normal. Oh yeah, we're racing on a track. At least like the slipstream effect doesn't have to be the same. You don't have to make it so that it's as difficult to overtake or get action as it is in real life, because that's the reason people want to escape from what it is in real life to watch the esports version. They want to see something that's more interesting, that's got more crashes, that's got more entertainment. What's the point in replicating a real life version?
You look at the best esports around the world. League of Legends, I'm pretty sure that's not a real thing that happens on Rocket League, where have cars been doing backflips with boosts and hitting a ball in a goal? Like, where is that? Like, where is that?
Rocket League,
Yeah, no, that's a valid point. So what would you do to FIFA then? To make, if you were in control of FIFA now, if they suddenly rang you up tomorrow and was like, Niran,
sliders, Niran.
Yeah, you're in charge of the whole thing. What would you do?
Almost spat my drink out. Actually, sliders would be one thing that I would put in. I think I would just make them more of an emphasis on positive football for a start. So your like one element of being able to do well is to actually play positively in the game rather than just sit back and defend and soak up pressure and still have a chance of winning. Teams go out and attack in real life and can win games. Liverpool play very attacking, and we've done all right this season. It doesn't have to be sit back and defend and just do nothing all game and grind out a 1-0 win. That's the first thing I'd do. Second of all, I swear to God, I don't know if either of you two play Ultimate Team that much.
Yeah, I play quite a bit.
Fam, there's like 67 types of cards.
Yeah. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
Fam,
so you get a coloured card. Yes. Oh, for shit.
It doesn't mean anything because it's team of the group stage, Champions League, flipping flashback icon of the 7th. Like nobody. I don't know what anything means anymore. That needs.
Although to be fair, it has provided some good entertainment. Like that person who thought they got like a Team of the Year card because it was blue, and then they got like a Group Stage Champions League card, which isn't better. And it's not worth more than the normal person. It's just a different colour. So they were just so happy, and then it just came out Champions League.
I just make there more of an emphasis on, less of an emphasis on having to buy your way to victory. But obviously that's not going to happen because it earns the company more money.
Yeah.
And failing that, obviously, then just making the gameplay more entertaining, something that people can enjoy, can play. It'd be a really counter-attacking a back and forth game.
Yeah.
And even if you lose, you're like, at least that was relatively enjoyable, rather than grinding out a 0-0 and losing on penalties and being like, I lost and it was shit. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So that's what I would do personally.
Like, how many people actually grind Ultimate Team and have fun? Like, I've seen people here in the office playing Ultimate Team and getting very angry at the game. I mean, that kind of happens a little bit with FIFA as well, but like to the point where, you know, why are you even playing it? You're clearly not having fun.
You're not enjoying any element of it. Like, if I sat down and played Ultimate Team for like the next 3 hours, I would enjoy 0 minutes of it. Because there's nothing that appeals. Oh, I can guarantee, even if I win, I'd be sweating. I'd be a mess. I'd look clapped. There's nothing appealing. There's nothing appealing at all. So, yeah. It's just frustrating. It actually annoys me because there's so much potential for that game. There's so much potential for like career mode and pro clubs, and it just gets pushed aside. But that's a rant.
Pro clubs. I'd love pro clubs to be esports.
Pro
11v11 pro clubs.
Fam, honest, don't
You've done it with JCC. And those videos are mental. They're brilliant.
Those
because
videos
it's
are
fun.
sick. Yeah, it's actually enjoyable. We have fun playing it, so it just makes a funnier video, just naturally.
Yeah.
The Veloce Pro Club stuff was sick, but yeah, it's we'll see.
Only
One
man
day,
score from a corner on pro clubs, so you know I'll take that achievement.
Listen, that was actually a pretty decent achievement. If you know FIFA 20 well, you know it's impossible to score from corners.
I remember there was a glitch on FIFA as well, on like PS4, that if you scored from a cross, your game would crash.
What?
Yeah. If you scored from a cross on FIFA 20, your game would crash.
Yeah.
And this wasn't like a new release crash. This was like a good 6 months or something like that.
This was about 2 patches ago. This was about 2 patches ago. This was not long ago at all. This was like March sometime. It's awful. I don't understand who tests the games. Like, there cannot be.
Is it supposed to be you? Aren't you an EA game changer?
Oh yeah, here we go. Mate, I wish I had any input whatsoever apart from just a name. I've taken out my Twitter bio. Okay, it doesn't mean anything anymore. I have a different Discord account for EA Game Changers that they put stuff in. I haven't logged into it for 6 months because there's not really anything there anyway. Because the EA the heads of like the community got like hacked, and then that was it. There was a wrap from there in terms of us lot actually having an impact. So yeah, it's a bit peak. Anyway, FIFA's dead basically.
You actually sound really sad. You're just like anyway. That was my big
That's
break.
it for my job. How about you guys? Yeah, no, it is collapsed.
So
the real life football world's collapsed as well. Liverpool aren't going to. I've already come to the conclusion Liverpool aren't going to win the league.
have they made a decision on what's going to happen with that? Because a few leagues around the world have just completely canned. What are the Prem doing?
So the Netherlands. So the Premier League are waiting. The Netherlands have ended it but voided it, so whoever was top of the table isn't going to win the league, and whoever was going to get relegated isn't going to get relegated. France have ended it but have categorised the league, so PSG, who were top, have won it, and the teams that were in the relegation zone have been relegated.
That's shit.
And Germany are coming back next week, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know what is going to go on for the Premier League, but yeah.
I hope it comes back behind closed doors. I hope it comes back.
Yeah, in like June, in like start of June. I reckon.
Mainly because we're fighting for promotion, and we've also got a cup final. So
yeah. Do I still have tickets for that to come with you, by the way?
Well, it depends if it's behind. We still have the tickets, but
oh
if it's
yeah,
behind
behind closed doors. It's only the
we'll
Johnston
see. I mean,
Paint
that will
trophy,
be at the
so.
end of the season if it does happen, because it's just a cup final at Wembley that you can just put anywhere. So I hope, fingers crossed. Come on, Pompey, let's go for the Farmers Trophy. We can do it.
Oh yeah, it's the Johnston Paint or Checker Trade.
No. It's leasing.com trophy now. But it's silverware! Yes!
I'm sorry. Any trophy that has a domain in it is immediately a write-off. If it's got .com in it, then no, that's it. I don't want to hear anything.
The thing is, football was cancelled pretty soon. I think like just a few, like a month before that was supposed to happen. So we could have won silverware, and then everything could have been stopped, and we could have won more silverware in the season than Liverpool. And it's not happened.
No, because we would have won the Premier League by this point.
No, because we might not.
Oh yeah, well, it just.
Yeah, by this point,
fact,
but the final was like I think.
Oh yeah, wasn't it start of April?
Start of April, yeah.
Oh yeah, true. Actually, we might not have won the league by then. We were gonna win it in March. Well, we could have won it in March. How it's May. Oh,
I know.
It's so depressing.
That's gotta be hard because like if it was close, I could understand why avoiding it. But the fact that you were so far ahead that I just don't see the point in avoiding it because.
Yeah.
You've won it. Like in a race, in an F1 race, you get past 75% distance, you get full points. You have pretty much got past 75% distance, you should get.
That's
the
actually
trophy.
a brilliant comparison. I never thought about that before. Yeah, we are firmly past 75%. We're about 99.8% of the way.
Yeah,
it's like, but
it would be the ultimate kick in the balls if they didn't let you continue or just give it to you guys.
Although if it did come back and City won it. If Stephen came back and
Could you imagine? That would actually be the most Liverpool. You don't even understand. That would Liverpool would do that. Oh man, I might listen. I've always preferred like table tennis anyway. I'd never really been that into football, so just kind of. Oh man, but yeah, I miss football so much.
Sad days. So mate, so do I. So do I. I just want to get out and play it again.
Miss real life Formula 1. As well, real life Formula 1.
We'll go that
far. Do you not miss it?
Honestly, no. I think what F1 and what what the race have been putting on have been brilliant. Like,
yeah, true.
I think F1's only good. It's different between a sport that you can go and watch, like football, which is probably more easily accessible than going to watch F1. Because unless you're there, and we've been there a few times, and it's great when you're there, but it's still very much the same as you're just. It's only good if you're there with the right people.
Yeah.
Like we've only had a good time. I don't remember anyone who's won any of the races that we've been to, but I remember that we had a great time when we were there.
I also don't remember.
I don't remember anything. I mean, I have slept through 2 real life races when being there, but I still don't remember.
Which ones did you sleep through?
I slept through Hungary when we were at Hungary.
Oh, I had a nap in Hungary.
Yeah, and Silverstone last year as well. I fell asleep and got woken up. I think when it was like Verstappen and Vettel had a crash, and everyone was like going and I was like, yeah, I'm awake.
To be fair, that was a really good race actually. In fairness,
but like you look at the races, like last weekend we put on a banger. There was great racing between Charles Leclerc and Cembelit Bastian and Charles Leclerc, Tyrrell Limitless and Timo Marduk. And then F1's had a great battle between Albon and Leclerc as well. Like, unfortunately I haven't watched that much of the races, but I have seen clips and it's still enjoyable racing there as well. So it's I'm more of a fan than an F1 fan, in all honesty.
I would agree, to be honest with you.
We had a meeting today with the guys from UNICEF just to kind of go over everything that we'd done. And the 2 people that we were on a call with, one was an F1 fan and one had never watched F1 before. And they both like sang its praises. And Jess, who was the F1 fan, was like, "It's so much better, like because the drivers are actually willing to make risky moves. They're not driving a car that's worth millions of pounds that if they crash, then it's going to be catastrophic for their team. Like there's kind of like different pressures there. So that's why we're seeing like the huge battles with overtake after overtake after overtake. So much more engaging to watch, in my opinion.
There's a bit more freedom and like license to have a bit more argy-bargy and action and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it will never replace F1 because when you're there, you've got the atmosphere, you've got the smell of it, you've got the sound of the cars, even though they used to be better back in the past.
Boomer Hayden got his back again.
But you've got all of that stuff, which makes it actually a lot better than the esports. But I think this is pushing really well for some sort of virtual racing to be a
viable alternative.
Or just a warm up act or something like that for the main weekend.
Legit, like a feeder series almost. Well, like a just sort of. Here's the Sunday morning. We've got the esports event as well. People like almost like Formula 2. People want to actually check that.
Porsche Super Cup. Like no one watches that. Just get rid of that. Get that out the door and put F1 esports.
That would actually be so lit. Let's do that.
Just the 3 of us. Let's do it.
I don't know why I'm saying as if we.
I'm writing up a 1-pager now that I'm going to send to F1.
I'm just going to email them now. Just like, listen, lads had an idea.
I think it'll happen. I do. I truly do believe that. F1 themselves have started broadcasting the esports races on their channel, so
That's huge, to be fair.
Exactly. So I think it's only a matter of time, and they'll complement each other 100%.
Yeah. I think once the game's a bit more bulletproof as well, you'll see a bit more of a, because it's still a little bit iffy at times.
Yeah, the grids start every time. It's just a freeze at the start.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I love that.
That is brilliant.
Oh my god.
I can keep that in.
And it's lights out.
No, I'm joking.
No one's moving.
And away we go.
To be fair, I'm glad that throughout the whole event we haven't had the glitch where everyone's stuck on the grid, but one person's allowed to drive. I've had it so many times in open lobbies.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Like literally one person's allowed to go. We had it in Squad Sprint the first episode.
We have it every single time in Squad Sprint. Literally in Brazil, like Viz just started driving off into the distance. I'm like, am I doing something wrong here? What's going on?
I loved it. I loved it when he did that, and then he tried to reverse back into his grid slot. So it would just carry on. He just goes off, parks it, and then worms his way back in. And he's just like, "Oh, can we go now? Oh, am I waiting for everyone else?"
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, the game is a bit broken, but
yeah,
hopefully
once it's a
fixed.
bit more like watertight, I think you'll see even more like of an expansion because it's a bit more trustworthy of the game. Lando Norris won't like disconnect every time as well. Poor geezer. I guess we move on to the future now. I'm gonna take charge now.
Do it.
Not gonna lie. So like future Veloce wise, what we saying? What's the immediate up and coming stuff that you guys are doing?
Ooh. Okay. So yeah, I've said it earlier. In real life stuff. That's a big push that we want to do in the future. I don't want to give too much away, but we want to look at stuff that's like automotive and motorsport and automotive and cars and stuff like that, and sort of go in real life and go and explore that avenue with personalities, with people, and go creating entertaining content. That's sort of my project, I suppose.
We've started going hard on Twitch as well. That's going to be a big part of the company going forward, and then Alpha as well is a company that we kind of help manage their socials with. They're going to start going hard on Twitch because we found that the live stream inside it's like a totally different part of the business. And on the surface, it looks very similar to what you do on YouTube and Twitch and the live stream stuff, but it's definitely not. It allows us to branch out and kind of test the waters in other things. Because Veloce, is primarily F1 and racing based, but there are other areas that we want to move into eventually. So yeah, I think Twitch is going to be a good avenue to kind of explore that and test it, and maybe bring on some new creators and some new talent, just fresh from Veloce, almost like an academy style thing.
That'd be pretty lit, to be fair.
Yeah, we've got some ideas that I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about, so I won't. In the pipeline, yeah. I've been tutoring on the line of things I kind of can't do already, so I'll keep that one quiet. Yeah.
It's our 6-month contingency plan.
Yeah.
Like, lay it down on the table.
You've asked us such a difficult question. What's the future? We're like, talk about
to be fair, I did mean like the next couple of weeks rather than like after COVID or whatever. I meant sort of like events that were coming up.
No, we seem to be expanding. We've got a couple of guys that we're bringing on, just so we can start initiating all of these ideas that we've got, and it is a lot of IRL stuff, and just kind of assessing the situation. Like you said before, Neil, you made a good point. We can't really plan much at the moment, so it's tick away with the live events and see how we branch out and build the relationships with the Chris Lakes, the Will N.E.s, the Noel Millers, and see where we can take that moving forward.
So sick having Noel Miller involved.
It was insane. Did you catch the after party afterwards as well? Total curveball.
It's just, I think I've said this a few times to people. Oh, hello. Or should we wait for Hayden to come back? Or
what's he doing?
He's got his bed.
Is a Blue Peter moment? Like I've got something to show you, or what?
Yeah, I've got.
Okay.
So you mentioned Noel Miller. That is the highlight of Jamie's career because Jamie got him on board, and Jamie absolutely loves him. If you don't know who Jamie is, he is one of the founding members of Veloce. Obviously, you two know who he is. So people at home. So he was like, it was like the happiest day of his life getting him on board. And I was going through the donations whilst the races were going on.
Okay.
And this was one that shouted out to me. So it says, Hi Noel, I know this is weird and kind of random, but this quarantine got me thirsty as fuck. I was wondering if you would be willing to roleplay being my e-girlfriend. I know you're probably straight and I'm a guy, that's why I say roleplay. You can, and then there's lots of asterisks, so I don't know what they say. A kiss every now and then, maybe. I'm thirsty, bro, please. And I was just like, Jamie, is this you, mate?
Probably. It probably is.
There was some bad stuff on that donations. What I do love as well, what managed to slip in was Gollum's penis. That Twitter app managed to slip in on the broadcast. Did you not see that?
No.
Oh, you were watching other people's broadcasts. Literally, so the tweet's on the side, so I'm reading out the tweets.
Yeah.
And I'm about to say this, and I'm just like, this is sent in from... I'm not going to say that. And it's just at Gollum's penis. And it's on the screen. It's on the broadcast. So at Gollum's penis has made it on F1. F1's YouTube
That's
channel.
quality.
So beautiful. That is brilliant. That is so brilliant.
I'll have to clip that.
There's some
mad.
bad stuff on there.
Yeah.
I love that. It's just, oh man, it's the world's colliding at the moment. Like, for F1 especially, I've had it as well with some of the FIFA stuff, but like, there's just, I don't understand what timeline we're living in.
Well, you did
It's Endgame.
football with Dizzy Rascal and Big
That was
Nasty.
mental. That was, I remember joining that, I was about to join that call. I had bare technical issues where I was about to start, and I just sat there and I was like, am I actually about to do this? What if I just get in the call and they're not there and it was just a hall of prank? There's no way I'm actually about to play a game of Pro Clubs with Big Nasty. It's not possible. It's not possible. Or Dizzy Rascal.
That is insane.
I was listening to Bonkers in 2007 or whenever it came out.
Jesus.
Oh, this is ridiculous, fam. But yeah, the worlds are colliding at the moment. It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Back to you guys.
On to Noel Miller, like he brought out some merch that is motorsports based. Like, and that's pretty genius from him, clearly. That's why he wants to get involved even more. Amongst other things, he genuinely had a great time with it, which is interesting because this is the time where all these creators can branch out and test different things that they may not have like changed lanes for. So be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of weeks and how many people actually jump on the F1 race and see how many people we can get to join us, really.
Yeah, I'll be interested in that. I think it's growing all the time, so I think you'll always get different like new people and like different walks of life. I'll be interested to see what happens as well after.
Yeah.
You know, will people like Charles Leclerc still stream all the time?
Yeah.
Like Lando Norris used to back in the day, or will he just like sack it off because normal F1's back as well? So
I hope that he does, because I mean, he said.
I think
as
he's
well for himself.
I think he's a great character on stream. I think
Him,
he's
Russell, Albon, and he even said like they had sort of lost touch, and then this has sort of brought them back together as friends again, which I think is great to see. Like just anyone, you know, finding their friends again through gaming, because it's a great way to make friends. In all honesty, you nerd. But yeah, I feel like because it's done so well and they've seen the benefit of it, I think they will, or they'll be pushed. Even if they didn't want to, they'd be pushed by management.
Yeah, 100%. It's raising their profile in a different way, and with the F1 career not being terribly long, it just means they've got something like running in the background to help them create a profile to branch into other stuff. And
it's a brand, isn't it?
I don't know this, but Hayden, you'll be able to confirm this, but I imagine the F1 esports career, you've got a little bit longer in you than an actual F1 career. Because there's more damage on your body with the Gs and everything. I'm thinking that's my thought process.
Yeah, it's more the reactions. I don't know how competitive you could be because it's all about reflexes and reactions, and we haven't actually seen anyone in F1 esports be over the age of I think 25.
Fair.
Honestly, I don't think there's been anyone older than that.
I suppose the next 10 years will tell, won't it, when the guys who are current get older, and we haven't really had that retirement age yet.
Yeah, just like, we haven't got to that point yet in the lifespan of esports, really. Haven't got old enough.
Which is insane to actually say out loud.
But then again, you've got
the genesis of it. So
you got someone like Emerson Fittipaldi, who won the championship, I think, in 1972 and 1974, and he's taking part in the races, all-star veterans races, and I'm pretty sure he's doing all right. Like, so maybe there is a career, like a veteran sort of career after it in F1 esports.
I think because I'm guessing the problem is in terms of like your reactions do get slower quite quickly, like from quite an early age. I think that's probably part of it, but I think you could just have age grouped championships in my opinion.
You have it in football. You have veterans leagues in football.
Yeah, so I think you could just do it that way, realistically, and just keep people going longer, and you could actually make a fully fledged career out of it, probably. Yeah, as more like the more it grows, the more prize money is going to be involved, the more lucrative it is. Won't even need to have a long career per se. So yeah.
And it's still racing. It's the basics of it are still the same. You're still racing against someone. You've got someone in front of you that you need to overtake, and you can overtake them a lot easier because you don't have the damage, and you can get your elbows out a bit, and you can make a bit of contact. Yeah. So it's pretty good. Let's do it.
Lit. Yeah.
Pretty lit.
It's pretty lit. I keep saying that at the moment, and I keep getting caught. Like people are like, "Why are you saying that's lit?" And I'm like, "I don't know." Because it's like kind of, I don't know.
It's like
I say it a lot.
isn't
To
it,
be
lit?
fair, I'm not gonna lie.
Lit.
It's not lit though. When your
I don't
brake
say
pedal
don't
breaks.
though. That's not lit. That isn't.
No.
Unless the brake was really like hot at the time, in which case it's pretty lit.
I had it twice today. Like I sent an overtake, I pressed the brake, and you could actually hear it. There's like a bang, and it was just like one of the washers had broke, so it's like a plastic washer that snapped in half somehow. So I found another one, replaced it. Two races later, pressed the brake, and this was like an air rifle shot. Like this was loud.
Jesus.
Like I don't know if you've ever shot an air rifle with and it's got like a metal background or something like that.
Yeah,
you could just
yeah,
hear that ding, like that. It was that. And I broke 2 rubber washers just stamping on the brake pedal.
So is your sim out of action now?
No, I just replaced it. It's all fine. But we've got loads of spares. Danny used to break them.
We're going to come back to the office and the whole place is just trashed. Just broken everything.
Honestly, if Danny was on that rig, those would have gone about 7 months ago. That guy just literally hammers brake pedals. He broke his brakes in F1 Esports. That's how bad he is.
No, it's quite bad actually.
You see it, he's like literally driving. He's got his whole body clenched
That's
forward
the thing,
like that.
yeah, because
and then he pushes
It's the power.
like that. Like that is how he does it.
What's the guy? I love Danny.
I do love Danny too.
Right, boys. I unfortunately I've got another appointment, 9 o'clock. So I'm gonna have to wrap it up there. If that's cool with you guys.
Skedaddle.
That is
it's all
fine.
good. You're a busy man. Don't worry.
That's time zones and stuff for people in America.
Mickey Flanagan has a lot of places to be.
Flanagan.
Oh, what happened to that guy?
Mickey Flanagan, the comedian.
Yeah.
Fuck knows.
He's probably at home right now, like most people.
Yeah, true. That's fair enough. Yeah, you're not wrong. Stupid question. Am I right?
Anyway, thank you for coming on board, Niran. It's been an absolute pleasure just to chat rubbish with you.
No problem, mate. This is what I do anyway, so literally, it's all fine by me. I've just recorded it this time, so it's all good, mate.
We hope Mickey's recorded it as well.
It's still recording, and I'll confirm afterwards. But yeah, we're good.
I've got a backup version. Don't worry.
Alright, you put the fails.
Thank you everyone who's been watching at home. Let us know who you'd like to see next on a podcast, and if you leave a comment down below, we possibly might read it in the next podcast. But until the next time, see you later, guys.
See you later.